Tonight, you will walk through the soft doorway of stillness. The day has already loosened its hold, and the hours of wakefulness are drifting quietly into memory. You are here now, in a gentle pause between the noise of the day and the silence of the night. Have you ever noticed how twilight feels like a threshold, a place where two worlds touch? Not quite day, not yet night. A tender in-between. And tonight, this is where your journey begins. As you breathe, slowly, without effort, you can imagine yourself standing at the edge of this in-between world. Behind you lies the brightness of day with all its movements and demands. Before you lies a path lit not by the sun, but by the soft glow of lanterns. Their golden light is steady and calm, guiding you forward, step by step, into a quieter realm. Your breath becomes the rhythm of this path. Inhale. A lantern flickers with warmth. Exhale. A ripple of calm spreads outward. You may feel your shoulders soften, your chest release, your jaw gently unclench. Each breath is a step, each step a surrender. Have you ever walked beneath the early stars, when the air carries the faint scent of grass, cooling under the night sky? Tonight, you walk there now. The world is hushed. The voices of the day have faded into silence. The lantern path stretches ahead, weaving through the soft embrace of evening. Above, the sky deepens into velvet, scattered with the first stars that dare to appear. They do not rush. They do not shout. They simply shimmer, gently, as if reminding you that peace is found not in effort, but in being. As you continue, you might notice the textures around you. The path beneath your feet is smooth and worn, as though many gentle travelers have walked it before. To your left, tall grasses sway, their edges catching the light, whispering softly to one another. To your right, a line of trees bends overhead, their branches arching together as though forming a shelter, a quiet canopy. Their leaves rustle with the faintest song, not hurried, not insistent, only patient and kind. And perhaps you wonder, as you walk, what lies beyond the curve of the path. Perhaps you feel a quiet curiosity, one that does not stir restlessness, but eases you into a softer awareness. It is the kind of curiosity that makes the eyes heavy, the breath slower, the body looser, because you know there is no hurry, no demand, only a promise of rest. The lanterns, one by one, continue to guide you. Their glow is steady, and yet each one seems to greet you, as though it has been waiting, as though it knows you by name. And in this way, you feel welcomed, gently received by the night. Your steps slow. Your breathing deepens. The day, in all, its weight falls further behind. Ahead, the path bends again, and somewhere beyond that bend, a forest waits. Its edges shimmer with mystery, not of danger, but of peace. It calls you gently, the way a lullaby calls to a child. Now, listen closely. Around you, the air shifts. The faint song of crickets emerges steady and soothing, like a heartbeat hidden in the grass. An owl calls once, its sound carrying far, fading into the folds of the night. You pause for a moment, feeling the stillness settle deeper. And in that pause, you notice your own stillness too. The rise and fall of your breath, the way your hands rest, the way your body leans slightly into the embrace of calm. It is as though the world itself has slowed to meet your pace. No rush, no urgency, just this steady, unfolding quiet. And so you walk again, each step lighter than the last. The lantern path glows softly, and as you gaze ahead, you see how the light gathers in small pools upon the earth, leaving stretches of shadow between. Shadow, then light. Darkness, then glow. The contrast is gentle, not harsh. It is like the rhythm of breathing, in and out, night and day, silence and sound. Have you ever stood in such a place where shadows do not feel heavy but restful? Where darkness is not something to resist, but something that welcomes you, like a soft blanket? Tonight, that is what surrounds you now, a darkness that is not empty, but full of quiet, full of calm, full of the space your heart has longed for. The air cools slightly as the path winds closer to the trees. You notice the faint scent of pine, the earthy smell of moss and soil. The fragrance is grounding, steadying, reassuring. You inhale slowly. You exhale slowly. With each breath, the air itself feels like a companion, guiding you deeper into ease, and then, just ahead, you see it. The edge of the forest. The lanterns lead you there, their golden glow reflecting faintly on the bark of the trees. The forest does not rise suddenly, but rather reveals itself gently. First, a cluster of trunks, tall and slender, then the weaving of branches overhead, where leaves catch the last light of dusk, then the shadows that pool beneath, deep and calm, like still waters. You pause once more, and in that pause you feel a shift. It is as though you are standing at another threshold, not only between day and night, but between the outer world and the inner. Behind you is the open path, the memory of day, the familiar. Ahead of you is something quieter, deeper, more tender. The forest does not call loudly, it does not command. It simply waits, patient, like an old friend who knows you will come when you are ready. Your body, too, knows this readiness. The rhythm of your breath tells you. The heaviness in your eyes tells you. The quiet settling of your heart tells you. You are ready to step forward. Before you enter, you take one last glance behind. The lanterns glowing, the grasses whispering, the stars now brighter overhead. It feels almost like a farewell to the day, a bow of gratitude for all that has passed. And then, turning once more to the forest, you see the path that continues inward, winding gently into the embrace of the trees. The night deepens. The stars grow more numerous, scattered across the sky like tiny lanterns of their own. The breeze carries the softest lullaby, woven of leaves and distance, and as you take your first step into the forest, you feel it. The sense of being held completely, safely, in a world designed for rest. The forest does not rush you. Each step you take is welcomed. Each breath you draw is mirrored by the trees themselves, who exhale the oxygen you inhale, and inhale the breath you exhale. A partnership, ancient and enduring. And so you walk with them, not through them, but with them. Side by side, in rhythm, in stillness. The deeper you go, the softer everything becomes. The air, the sound, the light, even the weight within you. And soon you realize that the forest is not only around you, but within you. The calm you sought is no longer something to be reached, but something that has already bloomed inside. And tonight, as you move further into this gentle place, you know that rest is not waiting at some distant end. It is here, in every breath, in every step, in every moment you surrender to stillness. The cottage waits somewhere beyond, its windows glowing faintly through the trees. But for now, you are already home, carried by the invitation of the night, received by the quiet. And as you follow the lantern-lit path deeper into the forest, the last echoes of the day dissolve completely, leaving you wrapped in the embrace of night, where every sound, every breath, every star above whispers the same message. You are safe, you are welcome, you are free to rest. Tonight, you will walk through the forest where every leaf whispers of peace. The lantern-lit path you have been following bends quietly, leading you into a softer world, one where trees stand as guardians of silence, and the air itself hums with calm. The threshold between meadow and woodland feels delicate, as though you are stepping not only into a forest, but into the tender rhythm of dreams. The canopy above leans gently overhead, branches weaving together in a tapestry of green and silver. Starlight filters through in scattered threads, caught by drifting leaves. Shadows fall across the path, not sharp, but feathered, like brushstrokes painted by the night. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to walk beneath trees that have watched centuries pass, their roots deep in the earth, their crowns swaying slowly in the sky? Tonight, as you step further into the woods, you are held by their patience. Each trunk rises around you like a column of stillness. Each leaf trembles with the faintest sigh of breeze. Your breath slows to match their rhythm. Inhale, the trees sway. Exhale, the forest exhales with you. You find yourself breathing with the woods, not into them, not against them, but with them. It is a shared rhythm, ancient and soothing, as though the forest has waited all along for your presence here. The path is soft underfoot, padded with pine needles, scattered leaves, and moss that yields like velvet to each step. No harsh sound follows your movement. Instead, there is only the muffled hush of nature's carpet, cushioning your journey. And perhaps you notice how every sound within the forest seems softened, muted, not erased, but made gentle. The distant trickle of a stream hums faintly, steady and calm. The faint tapping of branches becomes a lullaby. Even your own footsteps seem to melt into the quiet, absorbed by the listening earth. Everywhere, the forest whispers. The breeze stirs leaves into murmurs, a language of rustle and hush. Owls converse across the night, their calls echoing low and resonant, yet never startling. And in between these sounds, silence blooms, wide, steady, welcoming. A silence that is not empty, but alive. Have you noticed how silence in a forest does not feel like absence, but like presence? As though something vast and kind is leaning close, listening with you. You continue deeper, and the lanterns thin here, their golden pools replaced by the silvery glow of moonlight. Yet you do not feel lost. The path itself seems to carry its own memory, guiding you forward. The trees, tall and steadfast, lean together above you, their crowns weaving into an arch, a natural cathedral of calm. Light slips through in broken streams, dappling the ground with shifting patterns. Shadow, then light, dark, then silver. The contrast is soothing, like the slow rocking of a cradle. Your eyes grow softer, unfocused, almost dreamlike, as they follow the patterns of light and shade, and your body too softens. Shoulders relax, chest opens, arms grow heavy at your sides. You release not with effort, but with surrender, the way leaves release their hold in autumn, drifting downward into stillness. As you walk, you pass trees that seem to hum with memory. You imagine their roots reaching deep into the soil, tangled, with rivers of stone and veins of water. Perhaps you wonder what they have seen, what storms they have endured, what quiet dawns they have witnessed. And the thought comforts you, because just as they stand unbroken, so too do you carry a resilience within, a quiet strength that does not need to shout to be real. The forest path winds further inward, and soon you hear a new sound, the gentle dripping of water somewhere beyond. Each drop falls with a delicate rhythm, like a clock slowed to the pace of dreams. Time itself seems altered here. Hours dissolve into moments. Moments stretch like threads of silver. You realize that in the forest there is no rush, no measure. Only presence. Only now. Have you ever noticed how a forest at night feels alive, even when it looks still? As though unseen creatures stir softly, as though the very air breathes with.
Tonight, you are part of that breath. You are not a visitor, but a participant.
The forest has welcomed you as its own. The lanterns fade entirely now, and moonlight becomes your only guide. Its glow is soft, silken, falling over moss and bark, catching in droplets of dew. The woods are transformed by this silver light. Shadows soften, edges blur. The familiar becomes dreamlike. It feels almost as though you are walking, not through a forest, but through a memory, a story told in whispers. And here, your thoughts quiet further. The mind, once busy with lists and voices, grows still. Each step pulls you deeper inward, until even your inner world feels hushed, wrapped in the same silence that embraces the trees. You are both walking through the forest and walking into yourself, into your calm, into your rest. The path bends once more, and through the arch of branches you glimpse a glow far ahead. Not the bright blaze of fire, not the sharpness of man-made light, but a warm, flickering radiance. The Cottage of Dreams is waiting, though still distant, its windows like stars tucked into the heart of the woods. The sight brings comfort, but you do not hurry. Instead, you linger in the forest, letting its whispers cradle you a little longer. The rustle of leaves, the sigh of wind, the gentle hush of shadows. Each sound is an invitation to loosen, to breathe, to rest. Your body feels heavier now, in the best way. Like roots sinking into soft soil. Like branches folding in upon themselves at night. Like water settling in a still pond. And yet your heart feels lighter, freer, as though it floats among the stars above. Heavy and light, grounded and lifted, both at once, balanced and serene. As you move toward the glow of the cottage, the forest bends with you, guiding your steps with patient hands. The trees part slightly, opening a small clearing where starlight falls more freely. Here you pause again and listen. The woods seem to sigh with you, a final exhale of the day, as if they too are ready to rest. And so you walk on, the cottage drawing nearer, the forest's whispers fading softly behind. You carry them within you still, the hush of leaves, the rhythm of owls, the breath of silence, as you move toward the warmth that waits ahead. Tonight, the forest has given you its gift, the reminder that quiet is not empty, but full, full of presence, full of peace, full of the stillness you have longed to find. And as you step from the trees back into the soft lantern light that marks the path to the cottage, you feel it clearly. The forest's whisper has become your own breath, slow and steady, carrying you forward, toward the glow, toward the fire, toward deeper rest. Tonight, you will step into the little cottage where dreams rest gently. The glow that you glimpsed through the forest now shines brighter, beckoning you forward. Each step brings you closer to warmth, to safety, to a place that feels both new and long remembered. The path narrows, lined with stones softened by moss. Lanterns appear again, their golden flames flickering in rhythm with your breath. Inhale, the flame steadies. Exhale, the light shimmers. The night around you has grown deeper, but ahead the cottage glows with a quiet invitation, as though it has been waiting for you, patiently, faithfully, without haste. The trees part gently, and there it stands. The Little Cottage of Dreams. Its roof is sloped, touched by moonlight. Its windows are round, glowing amber, like two gentle eyes. Smoke curls from the chimney, thin and soft, carrying with it the faint scent of wood and spice, the fragrance of comfort. The walls, built of stone and timber, seem to hum with memory, as though they have sheltered many before you. Have you ever felt the warmth of a home before you even crossed its threshold? Tonight, you feel it now. The very sight of the cottage seems to soften your heart, as though you are returning to a place you have never been, and yet, somehow, always known. You pause at the small wooden gate. It creaks open with ease, welcoming you in. A garden rests just beyond. Not wild, not neat, but tenderly tended. Herbs spill from clay pots, their leaves carrying the perfume of rosemary, sage, and lavender. Flowers, pale in the moonlight, tilt their faces upward, still open, as though waiting to greet you. The fragrance drifts gently, blending with the cool night air, and you breathe it in, a mixture of earth and sky, root and blossom. The path of stone leads to a sturdy wooden door. Its surface is worn smooth, polished by countless hands that have opened it before. A lantern hangs above, casting golden ripples across the wood. As you reach for the handle, you notice its cool metal against your skin, the way it rests easily in your palm. You turn it slowly. The door opens without resistance, as though it knows you belong here. And then you step inside. The first thing you feel is warmth. It wraps around you instantly, embracing you as a blanket might. The air carries the scent of burning wood, mingled with something sweeter, perhaps cinnamon or honey, or the faint trace of bread baked earlier in the day. You inhale deeply. Your lungs expand with comfort. Your chest loosens with release. Before you stretches a room bathed in golden light. A hearth glows at the far wall, its flames gentle, never fierce. Their light flickers across wooden beams above, across shelves lined with books and small treasures, across walls painted in the soft tones of twilight. A rug rests before the fire, woven in patterns that ripple like waves or rolling hills. Chairs with high backs and cushions wait near the hearth, their fabric worn from use, inviting you to sink into them. Your footsteps echo faintly on the wooden floor, but even that sound feels softened, absorbed into the warmth. You notice small details that soothe the eyes. A vase of dried flowers on the table, a kettle resting quietly near the fire, the faint glimmer of glass jars filled with herbs and teas. Every corner of the cottage carries a whisper of care, a promise of comfort. Have you ever entered a place and felt it recognize you? Felt it welcome not just your body, but your spirit? Tonight, this cottage does exactly that. It is not merely a shelter, but a sanctuary. It holds no judgment, no demands, only rest, only ease, only safety. You wander slowly, each step guided by curiosity that feels soft, never urgent. Your hand brushes the wood of the walls, smooth and cool beneath your fingertips. You pause to admire the shelves. Books bound in leather, scrolls rolled with twine, objects that seem to hold stories of their own. Perhaps one catches your eye, its cover faded with age, as though it has been waiting for someone to open it again, but not yet. Tonight is not a night for reading, but for resting. The stories will wait. You approach the hearth. The flames glow, softly, crackling in a rhythm that feels almost like breathing. The warmth reaches you in waves, loosening the last threads of tension in your body. Your shoulders soften further. Your spine eases, your hands relax. You feel as though the fire is not only warming the room, but warming you inside and out, until you glow with the same gentle light. A chair rests nearby, its cushion plump, its arms wide. You lower yourself into it slowly, and the seat receives you with ease, shaping itself around your body. You lean back. The wood creaks faintly, not in protest, but in welcome. You close your eyes for a moment, and the fire's warmth seems to sink into your skin, your muscles, your very breath. The sounds of the forest outside fade into distance. Here, only the fire speaks in murmurs of crackle and sigh. You hear the faint pop of wood releasing its energy, the low hum of heat rising. The sound is steady, soothing, ancient. Fires have always gathered people, always offered comfort. Tonight, this fire gathers only you. Tonight, you are enough. Perhaps you glance toward the window. Outside, the night still blooms with stars, but from within the cottage, they seem softer, friendlier, as though they, too, are keeping watch over your
Rest.
The glass reflects both their light and the fire's glow, blending them into one shimmer. Starlight and firelight together, night and home, infinite and intimate. And as you sit, you begin to feel the cottage itself breathing with you. The beams above seem to expand with your inhale, the walls to soften with your exhale. The air grows warmer when you settle, cooler when you release. It is as though the very structure lives, not in stone or timber, but in companionship. This cottage is not a place you enter. It is a place that enters you, fills you with ease, with calm, with rest. You close your eyes once more. Behind your lids, the fire dances still. Warmth travels deeper. Breath slows further. The day has vanished completely now, dissolved in flame and shadow. There is no past to carry, no future to reach. Only this moment, this hearth, this chair, this breath. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be completely safe? To sit in a place that asks nothing of you but your presence? Tonight, you know. And as the fire continues to glow, as the cottage holds you in its tender silence, you feel yourself drifting deeper. Not into sleep yet, but into readiness. Into a state where sleep begins to bloom. The forest has led you here, and here you will rest gently, fully, until your body knows it is time to move again. When at last you rise, slowly, with no hurry, you know that more awaits within this cottage. Other rooms, other comforts, other invitations. But for now you linger in this arrival, this moment of first belonging. The journey is not over, but the welcome is complete. And when you step from the hearth to explore further, your steps are slower, your breath deeper, your heart softer. The cottage holds you now, and you hold the cottage, and together you walk further inward toward the deeper rest that awaits. Tonight, you will sit by the gentle fire, and let its warmth become your own. The hearth glows before you, steady and patient, as though it has been waiting for your presence. The room around you is quiet, softened by golden light. The wooden beams overhead cradle the ceiling like gentle arms, and the shadows they cast stretch long and slow, swaying with the rhythm of the flames. Every flicker seems to move in harmony with your breath. Inhale, the fire brightens. Exhale, it settles, calm again. You sink deeper into the chair near the hearth, its cushion embracing your form as though it remembers countless evenings spent here. You feel your body release into the warmth. Shoulders sink. Hands rest heavy upon the arms of the chair. The tension that clung to you throughout the day loosens, strand by strand, melting away into the glow. The fire itself speaks in a language older than words. Crackle, sigh, whisper. A piece of wood shifts, glowing red, then orange, then yellow, as though revealing secrets of its long journey through forest and time. The scent of burning cedar drifts into the air, warm, earthy, carrying hints of
resin. It fills your lungs with the fragrance of comfort, grounding you in the present moment. Have you ever noticed how a flame seems alive? Not wild, not unruly, but tender, steady, offering both light and warmth.
Tonight, you watch it closely. Each flicker rises, bends, softens, disappears, and is born again. It reminds you of breath, of heartbeat, of the cycle of day and night. You realize the flame is not only before you, it is within you. You lean closer. The warmth deepens, wrapping around your face, your chest, your hands. It feels like sunlight caught and tamed, a small piece of day brought into night. Yet unlike the sun, this warmth is never overwhelming. It is soft, patient, restful. It does not demand, it simply gives. The shadows on the walls dance gently. One moment they stretch tall like trees, the next they curl low like waves. Their motion is slow, hypnotic, pulling you further into calm. Watching them is like watching clouds drift across the sky. No need to follow, no need to decide. You simply allow them to move, and with them, your thoughts grow softer, lighter, until they too drift away. You close your eyes for a moment, listening. The fire hums quietly. The wooden walls creak as though they too are breathing. In the distance, you hear the faint song of the forest still lingering beyond the cottage, the whisper of wind in branches, the hush of leaves brushing against one another. Yet here, near the fire, those sounds feel softened, wrapped in warmth, made gentle. Your breath joins this symphony. Inhale, slow, deep. Exhale, slower still. Each release carries with it the remnants of the day, the busyness, the thoughts that spun too quickly, the weight you carried. All of it dissolves into the air, gathered by the fire, consumed and transformed into light. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to let go completely, to hand over your worries to something greater, something timeless? Tonight, the fire offers itself as that vessel. Every spark seems to rise with your release. Every glow reminds you that rest is not weakness, but healing. The flames shift again, and for a moment you imagine you see images within them, shapes forming, dissolving, appearing anew, perhaps a mountain, perhaps a flowing river, perhaps faces long forgotten, smiling gently. The fire holds them all, shows them, and then lets them go. You realize you too can hold and release. Thoughts arrive, memories flicker, and just as the flame does, you can let them pass, without grasping, without fear. The chair beneath you feels even softer now, as though you are sinking into the earth itself. Your body is heavy, yet not in burden, in rest, in relief. Each muscle, from your forehead to your toes, has been touched by warmth, coaxed into stillness. The kettle near the hearth whispers faintly, metal warming in the glow. The sound is almost like a lullaby, high and light, rising and fading in perfect
rhythm with the fire. You imagine the promise of tea, of herbs steeping, of sweetness upon your tongue. Even without drinking, the thought itself soothes you, reminding you that nourishment is always near, always available, always simple.
The rug beneath your feet is thick, its fibers woven in gentle waves. You curl your toes against it, feeling the softness rise to meet your skin. The sensation grounds you further, reminding you that you are here, fully in this moment. Safe, warm, resting. You glance once more at the flames and a thought drifts softly into your mind. Fires have always gathered people. Around them, stories were told, songs were sung, silences were shared. Tonight, you are both the storyteller and the listener, both the one who tends the fire and the one who rests before it. The circle is complete. Nothing more is needed. The rhythm of the flame has become your rhythm now. Slow, steady, glowing. The light no longer simply illuminates the room, it illuminates you within. Your chest feels brighter, your breath lighter, your mind quieter. You close your eyes again, and in the darkness you see the glow still. Not as flame, but as warmth, as presence, as peace. It fills the space behind your eyelids, then flows through your body until you cannot tell where the fire ends and you begin. You are the hearth. You are the flame. You are the warmth that rests within. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be both held and holding? Tonight, you know, the cottage holds you, the chair holds you, the fire holds you, and within that holding, you hold yourself. Time stretches here. Minutes dissolve into the crackle of flame, into the sway of shadows, into the rise and fall of breath. There is no need to measure them. There is only now, only this warmth, only this peace. And as the fire continues to glow, as the room continues to breathe with you, you know there are other corners of this cottage to discover, other layers of rest awaiting. But for now, you linger here. You let the hearth teach you its lesson, that stillness is alive, that warmth is eternal, that peace is always possible. When at last you rise, slowly, gently, you carry the flame within you. It glows in your chest, steady and soft, guiding you forward. The hearth behind you continues to burn, patient, eternal, promising to be here when you return. And so, with warmth in your heart and softness in your step, you move deeper into the cottage toward the next space of rest, the next layer of dream. Tonight, you will walk into a room where silence and starlight meet. From the hearth where the gentle flame warmed you, you step softly into a new space, the room of quiet windows. The floor beneath you changes as you enter, the wood creaking gently, its voice soft and old. The air is cooler here, touched by the breath of night drifting in through glass. You notice how the light shifts too, less golden, more silver, as moonlight begins to weave its way across the room. You pause in the doorway. Have you ever entered a place that felt like a sigh, long and deep, waiting to be released? Tonight this room feels exactly that way. It is not empty, but spacious. Not silent, but hushed. Every surface carries a layer of calm, as though the walls themselves are listening. The windows line one side of the room, tall and wide, framed in wood, polished smooth by time. Their glass is clear, uncurtained, allowing the night to spill in freely. And what a night it is. Stars scatter themselves across the sky, endless in number, patient in their shimmer. The moon hangs higher now, round and luminous, its glow filling the room with a silver gentleness that feels both cool and kind. You take a step closer. The rug here is softer, woven with threads that catch the light, pale blues and silvers that glimmer faintly. It feels like walking on starlight itself, as though the heavens have laid a path for you indoors. You stand before the first window. The glass is cool beneath your fingertips as you rest your hand there. Outside, the forest you walk through spreads wide, its trees dark and tall, their branches swaying softly. Between them, patches of moonlight spill, painting the earth in pale patterns. The wind moves gently through the leaves, carrying whispers that you can almost hear. Have you ever wondered what trees say to one another in the night? Perhaps they murmur about the stars. Perhaps they tell stories of seasons past, of rain and sunlight, of roots deep in the soil. Tonight you feel as though you are part of their conversation, listening not with your ears, but with your stillness. You breathe in. The coolness of the night mingles with the warmth you still carry from the hearth. Inhale. You feel the freshness of the stars. Exhale. You feel the comfort of the fire lingering within. Day and night, warmth and coolness held together, in perfect balance. You move to another window. This one looks toward the meadow beyond the forest. Even in darkness, the grass ripples gently, silver waves beneath the moon. Somewhere in the distance, you hear the faint call of an owl, low, steady, ancient. The sound drifts through the air like a prayer, reminding you of cycles older than memory. The owl speaks and silence answers. Both belong. Both are complete. You let your eyes soften, unfocusing slightly, until the view outside becomes a blur of silver and shadow. In this blur, your mind quiets too. Thoughts lose their sharpness. Memories dissolve at their edges. You find yourself suspended in a space between seeing and dreaming, where the boundary between inner and outer becomes thin. You move again, slowly, toward the largest window at the far end of the room. This one frames the sky itself, wide and high as though it were painted for you. Stars crowd closer here, countless, shimmering in patterns too vast to name. You tilt your head back slightly, and for a moment you imagine you are floating upward, weightless, drifting among them. Each star a spark of light, a flame in the vastness, each one both near and infinite. Have you ever stood beneath the night sky and felt yourself expand?
As though your breath grew longer, your heart grew wider, you're being stretched beyond the limits of your body. Tonight, you feel it again. The stars remind you, you are small, yes, but not insignificant. You belong to this vastness, and it belongs
to you. You close your eyes. The stars remain behind your lids, glowing softly. You feel their cool silver light on your skin, your forehead, your chest. They do not burn, they soothe. They remind you of rest, not as withdrawal, but as connection. To sky, to earth, to breath, to being. The room itself seems to breathe with you. The wooden beams groan faintly, the glass hums with the wind, the rug softens beneath your weight. Every detail is part of a quiet harmony. The silence is not empty, it is full, rich, layered with presence. You move toward the center of the room. A low bench rests there, cushioned, inviting you to sit. You lower yourself slowly, feeling the fabric beneath you smooth and cool. From here, all the windows surround you, each framing a different piece of the night. The forest, the meadow, the stars, the moon. You are encircled by sky, held in its gentle gaze. You let your breath grow slower still. Inhale, the stars shimmer. Exhale, the silence deepens. Your shoulders sink further, your hands rest more heavily. Your eyelids grow heavier too. Have you ever wondered how silence can be so alive? Tonight you hear it, not in sound, but in the way your body responds. Muscles soften, thoughts loosen, breath flows. Silence is not absence. Silence is presence, deep and whole. You linger here, in this room of quiet windows, letting the night itself become your companion. You do not need to move, you do not need to speak, you do not even need to think. The windows do the seeing, the stars do the shining, the silence does the holding. You simply are. And in this being, you find rest, blooming again, deeper now, softer now. The fire's warmth still glows within you. The night's coolness rests upon you. Together they cradle you, balance you, soothe you. At last, your eyes drift closed fully. The room fades into silver shadow, into softness, into stillness. And yet you know, when you open them again, more awaits. More rooms, more rest, more dream. The cottage has not finished its story. It is only guiding you step by step, deeper into peace. And so, with silence in your lungs and stars in your chest, you prepare to move again, slowly, gently, toward what lies beyond the quiet windows. Tonight, you will wander into a library where silence holds stories and whispers linger like fading echoes of time. From the room of quiet windows where stars rested against glass, you step softly down a short corridor. The air shifts again, cooler, but filled with a faint fragrance of aged paper, of ink, of wood, polished smooth by countless hands. The corridor opens into a vast chamber. At first, the dimness makes it feel endless, as though it stretches far beyond what you can see. Then slowly your eyes adjust to the glow of lanterns placed at intervals along the walls. Golden light spills upward, casting shadows that stretch tall and thin, reaching toward the high ceiling where beams arch like branches. Before you stand rows upon rows of shelves carved from dark wood, their surfaces worn with time. They rise, tall, holding countless books, scrolls and journals, some neatly stacked, others leaning as though tired from their long keeping of secrets. Dust drifts faintly in the air, sparkling when it catches the lantern light, as if each particle is itself a memory searching for a listener. Have you ever entered a place so quiet that even your breath feels like part of the silence? Tonight, this is that place. The library breathes slowly like the hush of leaves in a still forest, like the pause between waves on a shore. Each step you take upon the wooden floor sounds soft, hushed, almost hesitant, as though the very boards know they must respect the slumber of words. You walk deeper into the aisles. The books call to you in their own way, and not loudly, not urgently, but like faint whispers brushing against your mind. Some seem to glow faintly at their spines, others lean toward you as though to say, "Here is a story you once knew and forgot." You pause at a shelf and let your hand trail across the bindings. Some are smooth leather, cool beneath your fingertips. Others are rough, textured like bark. as though they were born from trees that still remembered their roots. Each book hums faintly with a presence, a story waiting to be opened, but you do not rush. Tonight is not for reading, but for listening. A breeze moves gently through the chamber, though no windows are open. It carries with it faint whispers, not words you can understand, but syllables soft and low, like a lullaby sung in a forgotten tongue. Perhaps they are the voices of the authors who once poured themselves into these pages. Perhaps they are the dreams of the readers who sat here before you, leaving behind echoes of their wonder. You let the whispers move through you, not clinging, not asking for meaning. You simply allow them to be the way one allows the night to be night, or the stars to be stars. The library is alive, not with noise, but with memory. Have you ever wondered where forgotten thoughts go? The ones you meant to hold, but let slip away? Tonight, you sense they live here. They are tucked into the spines of books, folded into the margins of journals, woven into the parchment of scrolls. They are safe here, kept gently, patiently, waiting until you or someone else remembers them again. You wander further. The shelves curve slightly, forming alcoves. In one, a wooden table rests round and low with a single candle flickering upon it. A chair waits beside it, cushioned and worn. You sit for a moment, lowering yourself into its embrace, and feel how the room seems to lean closer. As though listening to your breath, you close your eyes. The whispers rise again, faint, rhythmic, hypnotic. They do not speak of tasks undone or burdens heavy. They speak of rivers flowing, of stars forming, of seasons circling endlessly. They speak of gentleness, of patience, of eternity. When you open your eyes again, the candle before you flickers softly, casting a glow that feels alive. Its flame dances like the ones at the hearth, though smaller, more intimate. Around it, shadows of the books lean in closer, as though keeping watch over you. You realize that this place does not demand anything from you. It only invites you to rest, to remember, to be part of its silence. You rise again, walking slowly toward the far end of the library. Here the shelves grow taller, reaching toward the ceiling. Ladders lean against them, ready to climb, though tonight they remain
Still,
at the base of one shelf. You notice a book lying open upon a stand. Its pages flutter faintly, though no wind stirs. You step closer, curious. The words upon the page are delicate, written in a hand that flows like water. You cannot quite read them. The letters shift as your eyes move, dissolving into symbols, then into shapes, then into soft patterns of light. Perhaps the meaning is not in the words, but in the way they breathe. You watch them shimmer for a moment, then let them go, knowing the library will keep their message safe until another night. You continue on. In another alcove, you find scrolls tied with twine, their edges frayed with age. When you brush your fingers lightly against them, they hum faintly, like strings of an instrument long untuned. Their song is faint but soothing, reminding you of wind moving across grass, or waves brushing against the shore. Everywhere you turn, the library offers not knowledge in the sharp sense, but wisdom in the soft one. It does not overwhelm with facts, but cradles you with presence. It reminds you that everything, thought, memory, word, dream, belongs somewhere. Nothing is lost. Not truly. Have you ever felt forgotten or wondered if your own stories would fade? Tonight, the library assures you they are kept, held gently, like these books. Even if they are not spoken now, even if no one remembers them in this moment, they exist. They remain. You remain. The air grows warmer as you walk further. The lanterns, glowing brighter, the whispers softer now, more like a hum than words. You begin to feel as though the library itself is lulling you, rocking you in silence. Each step grows slower, each breath deeper, each thought quieter. You find a bench, tucked against one wall. Its surface is covered with a quilt, patched and faded, yet soft. You sit, leaning back, letting the whispers flow around you like a river. Your eyelids grow heavy. The library does not mind if you close them. In fact, it welcomes it. Behind your
lids you still see shelves stretching endlessly. You still hear the hum of whispers.
But they are no longer outside you, they are inside you, woven into your own breath, your own heartbeat. You are part of the library now. Your rest joins its silence. Your breath joins its whispers. Time feels endless here. Minutes dissolve.
Hours dissolve. Perhaps centuries dissolve. It does not matter. You are held. You are remembered. You are safe. At last, when you feel ready, you rise again. Slowly, gently. The whispers follow you, but not heavily. They drift with you like
soft threads, like echoes of a lullaby. They will stay with you as you leave, weaving themselves into your dreams. You step toward the far door. The shelves grow shorter again, the lanterns dimmer, as though guiding you out softly, without abruptness. You pause once more to glance back. The library stretches still, endless, filled with whispers, filled with memory. You know it will remain, always, keeping watch over all that has been and all that will be. And then you step forward into the corridor again, carrying with you the silence of the library, the comfort of knowing that nothing is truly lost. From the library, where whispers lingered like echoes of forgotten time, you move gently onward. The corridor narrows, then curves, its walls pale and smooth, leading you toward a door of carved wood. The handle is cool beneath your palm, and when you press it open, the world shifts. You step into air that is fresh, wide, and filled with the soft perfume of blossoms. Before you stretches a garden bathed in silver light. The moon hangs above, round and luminous, not harsh, but tender,
as though it too has come to rest.
Its glow touches everything. The leaves, the stones, the petals of flowers that open only at night. Each surface shimmers softly as though dusted with starlight. The air carries the fragrance of jasmine, mingled with the cool sweetness of night-blooming lilies. Somewhere close you hear the murmur of water, perhaps a fountain, or perhaps a small stream weaving through the garden's paths. The sound is soft, steady, like a lullaby sung by the earth itself. The path before you is paved with smooth stones, their edges worn, their surface warm from the day that has passed. You take a slow step forward. The garden welcomes you with silence, but not the empty kind. A silence alive with gentle sounds, the brush of leaves against one another, the hum of distant crickets, the faint rustle of night air as it passes. Walk slowly, allowing your gaze to wander. To your right, roses bloom, not red, but pale as pearls, their petals unfolding beneath the moonlight, as if opening to dreams. Their fragrance is soft, almost invisible, yet it lingers, comforting, delicate. To your left, tall grasses sway, their silvered blades whispering in chorus, a sound like pages turning in the dark. The path winds gently. At each turn, the moonlight seems to arrange itself differently, casting shadows that stretch and dissolve, making the garden feel both endless and close, both mysterious and safe. You pause before a pool of water. Its surface is still, perfectly still, like glass. The moon rests upon it, whole and unbroken, as if the sky has doubled itself. When you lean closer, your reflection joins the moon, your face softened, your outline blurred, as though the night has claimed you as part of its own. A breeze touches the surface, and the reflection ripples. Moon, self, sky, all dissolve, then reappear. You breathe deeply. The air here seems woven with peace itself. Each inhale brings cool quietness into you. Each exhale releases what is heavy, what is worn. Slowly, naturally, your body relaxes further, as if the garden has taken your burdens and set them gently among its blossoms. Have you ever walked through a garden at night, when the world feels hushed, yet alive in secret ways? Tonight, this is that garden. The flowers lean softly toward you as you pass, as if greeting you with their quiet bloom. The stones beneath your feet seem placed not only for walking, but for guiding. Each one an invitation to take the next step, to continue deeper into calm. As you follow the path, you notice lanterns, small and simple, set upon posts. Their light is not bright, only enough to glow gently, mingling with the moonlight. They flicker softly, like breathing, like heartbeat. Each lantern seems less like a flame and more like a star that has chosen to rest here for the night. You come to a wooden bench beneath an arch of climbing vines. The vines bloom with night jasmine, their white flowers glowing faintly. You sit, feeling the smoothness of the bench, the coolness of the wood. The garden stretches before you, paths winding away, trees rising like guardians, blossoms bending in the night air. You feel as though you are not looking at the garden, but that the garden is looking at you, keeping you company, holding you quietly. Above, the moon moves slowly, patient in its journey. Stars shimmer in its wake, scattered like seeds across the dark. One seems to fall for a moment, tracing a line of silver before vanishing. You watch it without needing to hold on. Here, everything comes, everything passes, and everything is gentle. When you rise again, the path carries you toward a grove of trees. Their trunks are tall, their bark pale, their branches spread wide. The leaves catch the moonlight, each one shining faintly, like coins scattered through the branches. Beneath them, the earth is soft with moss, springy beneath your steps. You walk slowly, feeling the coolness of the ground rise through your feet, as though the earth itself is cradling you. The grove opens into a clearing where a fountain rests. Its basin is carved stone, worn smooth with time. Water spills from its center, not rushing, not sharp, but falling in a soft, continuous stream. The sound is steady, rhythmic, like the breath of someone asleep. You sit on the edge of the fountain, letting your hand trail in the water. It is cool, alive, carrying the memory of rivers, the patience of rain. The whispers of the library return to you faintly, carried in the sound of the fountain. Only now they are gentler, wordless, more like hums than voices. The garden has taken their echoes and softened them into lullabies. As you listen, you feel yourself drifting further inward. Thoughts unravel, not with force, but like threads released by gentle hands. There is no need to hold on to them here. The garden asks nothing of you but to breathe, to listen, to rest. You rise again, following a narrow path that leads beyond the fountain. The air grows cooler here, touched with the faint spice of night-blooming herbs. Lavender, chamomile, and mint grow in small clusters, their scents calming, their presence steady. You brush your fingers lightly against their leaves, and their fragrance lingers on your skin, soft and grounding. The path curves once more and brings you to the heart of the garden, a wide circle where moonlight pours unhindered, silver and soft. At the center of this circle lies a single tree. Its trunk is wide, its branches vast, and from those branches hang blossoms unlike any you have seen. White petals with a faint glow as though lit from within. They sway gently, each movement leaving trails of light in the air, like stars that linger before fading. You step closer. The tree seems older than time itself, patient and wise, yet kind. Beneath it lies a bed of soft moss inviting you to rest. You lie down, the earth beneath you cool and steady, the branches above stretching like arms to shelter you. The blossoms sway, the moon watches, the night breathes. Here you feel utterly at peace. The garden has led you gently, step by step, to this place. The heart of its stillness, the center of its song. As you close your eyes, the sounds surround you. Water murmuring, leaves brushing, crickets humming, blossoms sighing. They blend into a lullaby not made of words but of presence. Your breath slows, your body softens, each part of you melts into the moss, into the earth, into the night. The garden holds you as though you have always belonged here, and as you drift towards sleep, you sense the moon lowering itself gently over you like a blanket of silver. You sense the blossoms leaning closer, their fragrance weaving into your dreams. You sense the earth itself whispering, "Rest, rest, rest." Nothing more is needed. Nothing more is asked. Only this, the garden beneath the moon, and your quiet place within it. From the garden, where the moon still hums in silver silence, you rise slowly. A path opens once more, faint and glowing, as though woven from the moonlight itself. Your steps follow without effort, carrying you gently toward an arched doorway. At the far edge of the clearing, the door is carved of pale stone, veined with silver lines that shimmer faintly. You lift your hand, and as your palm rests upon its surface, the stone softens beneath your touch. The door opens without sound, inviting you inward. Beyond it lies a chamber, vast, quiet, and timeless. You step inside. The first thing you notice is the air, cooler, deeper, as though it carries the stillness of mountains, the hush of caves untouched for centuries. Yet it is not heavy. It is soothing, like the air that lingers after rain, filled with calm, filled with presence. The chamber glows with a gentle light. It does not come from lanterns or moonlight. Instead, it seems to rise from the walls themselves, as though the stone has remembered starlight and now releases it slowly, endlessly. The glow is soft, never shifting, as steady as breath. The floor is smooth, polished stone, warm beneath your feet, though no fire burns here. Each step echoes faintly, then fades, as though the chamber itself absorbs sound, allowing nothing harsh, nothing sharp, only gentleness. At the center of the chamber lies a bed, not like any bed you have known, not made of wood, nor fabric, nor feather. This bed is formed from the earth itself, yet softened by layers of moss, silk, and cloud-like down. Its shape is perfectly round, like a circle drawn by the universe. The sheets are woven from threads so fine they seem spun from moonlight. You stand for a moment gazing, and in that gaze you realize this is not merely a bed. It is a place of surrender, a vessel for rest, as old as sleep itself. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to lie in a place created not by hands, but by silence, by stillness, by time? Tonight, you will know. You approach. The closer you come, the more your body loosens, as though the chamber's stillness reaches through the air and touches you gently, untangling knots you did not know you carried. Your shoulders fall, your spine lengthens, your breath deepens. You sit first, the softness rising to hold you effortless, certain. Then slowly you lower yourself back, lying fully within the circle. The sheets embrace you with coolness and
warmth at once, a balance so perfect it feels like the memory of every restful night you've ever known. Above you, the ceiling curves high, and there countless stars glow faintly, not painted, not carved, but real, as if the chamber's roof is not stone at all, but sky. You watch them flicker, slow and distant. Each star pulses gently, like a heartbeat in the heavens.
together they form no constellations, no patterns, only endlessness, only infinity. The chamber hums faintly, a sound so low you feel it more than hear it. It vibrates gently in your bones, steady as the earth, soft as a mother's hum. This sound seems to say, you are safe, you are held, you are already home. Your breath slows further. Inhale and your chest rises lightly like a wave. Exhale and your body melts deeper into the bed, as though dissolving. Inhale, the chamber glows brighter for a moment. Exhale, the glow softens again. Breath and chamber, body and stillness, all move together in quiet rhythm. You close your eyes for a moment, and even with them shut, you see light. Soft, silver, like stars moving behind your lids. You hear nothing but the chamber's hum, your own breath, and the faintest trickle of water far away, as though the world itself is whispering a lullaby. You are drifting now, between wakefulness and dream. Thoughts, if they come, arrive like feathers, floating, dissolving before they can settle. You do not chase them. You do not hold them. They pass, and you remain. And perhaps you wonder, quietly, whether this chamber exists only here, in this story, or whether it exists everywhere. Within every moment of rest you have ever touched, perhaps the chamber is not a place, but a truth. That within you lies a bed of eternal rest, waiting always, no matter where you are, no matter when. The stars above seem to shimmer in agreement. Their glow softens, becoming hazy, like lanterns, seen through mist. You sink deeper. Muscles loosen, bones grow heavy, mind drifts lighter. You feel as though you are both sinking and floating at once. Sinking into the bed, floating into the stars. Time no longer moves here. Minutes dissolve into moments, moments into breath. The chamber is eternal because here nothing passes, nothing rushes. There is only this, only rest. The sheets beneath you shift gently, as though adjusting themselves to your body, fitting perfectly, holding perfectly. The moss beneath releases a faint fragrance, earthy, grounding, like the scent of rain-soaked soil. It mingles with the cool sweetness of the chamber's air. wrapping you fully. And so you drift further into silence, into calm, into the deepest center of night. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to be cradled not just by a bed, not just by a home, but by the universe itself? Tonight, in this chamber, you feel it. You are not falling asleep. You are being carried. And as you surrender, as you allow the weight of your body to vanish into the softness, as you allow the stars above to blur into dream, the chamber whispers to you, not in words, but in silence. Rest, 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 and you do. The chamber holds you in silence, stars watching above, breath flowing like a river. And then, gently, almost without notice, the edges of the chamber begin to blur. The walls, once glowing faintly, dissolve into mist. The ceiling of stars bends and stretches until sky and space spill out endlessly. The bed beneath you is no longer stone, no longer moss, no longer fabric. It is light, it is cloud, it is nothing, and it is everything. You are floating now. Not drifting upward, not falling downward, but floating everywhere at once. Around you, the glow of stars becomes rivers of silver. They twist and flow like streams, like ribbons carried by a quiet wind. Some move fast, some slow, but none ever clash. All weave together into a tapestry of endless motion. Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to float inside a dream, without a beginning, without an end? Tonight, this is where you are. Time loosens. Seconds dissolve into pools of quiet. Minutes stretch into oceans. Hours vanish altogether. You are no longer carried by the clock, no longer bound to its rhythm. Instead, you move with the rhythm
of breath, the rhythm of dream, the rhythm of eternity. Shapes emerge in the flowing stars.
Some take the form of mountains, their peaks shimmering as though sculpted from crystal. Others rise as oceans, waves curling with liquid starlight. In the distance, a tree appears, vast as a world, its branches spreading beyond sight, its roots buried in forever. You look, and before you can wonder, the vision dissolves, only to reshape into something new. An endless meadow, perhaps, where flowers of light bloom and dissolve in the same moment. Nothing holds, nothing remains, yet nothing is lost. Each image passes gently, leaving only peace. Your body feels lighter, lighter still. You are not contained by it now. You are breath, you are drift, you are dream itself. Your chest rises and falls, and with each rise you expand into the universe. With each fall you sink into infinite stillness. The rivers of stars swirl closer. Their glow touches you, but not with heat. They brush like silk, cool and soft, weaving around your arms, your shoulders, your face. As they pass, they seem to whisper. Not words, not language, but tones. Low, soft, eternal. A hum older than worlds carried in light itself. And you wonder, perhaps faintly, perhaps as though in a half-thought, whether these whispers are not only stars, but memories. Memories of every night ever slept, every dream ever dreamed, every rest ever
taken. You sense that time here is not forward, not backward, but all at once.
Past, present, future, all dissolve into one endless now. You close your eyes, and yet the vision continues. Behind your lids, galaxies swirl like lanterns in an endless sky. Their spirals are vast, patient, unhurried. Each one breathes pulsing.
Gently, like the rhythm of sleep itself. The dream carries you further. You step though there are no feet, no ground, into a corridor woven from light. It stretches on forever, yet feels as though it ends just ahead. You move without walking,
Glide without effort. On each side of the corridor, doors appear, countless, infinite. Some are open, revealing fields of glowing grass. Others are closed, humming faintly as though guarding secrets not yet ready to be seen. You do not need to choose. You do not need to decide. Each door opens, closes, appears, vanishes. You are free, carried deeper still, deeper into dream. The air here has no scent, yet it feels fragrant. It carries no sound, yet it hums. It is made of quiet itself. You breathe it, and it becomes part of you. With each inhale, you are filled with forever. With each exhale, you release even the idea of time. Have you ever noticed in dreams how one place becomes another without pause? A mountain becomes a river becomes a sky becomes a single star. Tonight, this shifting happens. All around you, a meadow of flowers fades into a sea. The sea folds into a cave lit by crystal. The cave shimmers into a city of silver towers. None remain, none vanish. They simply pass like clouds across the face of eternity. And still you float. Perhaps you see faces now drifting in the glow. Not faces of people you know, not even faces of people at all, but impressions, soft outlines, as though the dream itself has remembered every being who has ever closed their eyes in rest. They do not speak, they do not move, they only drift beside you, a vast community of dreamers, together yet apart, silent yet infinite. You do not need to belong, because here you already do. The stars hum louder, yet still soft, like a lullaby sung in the language of light. Their song carries you deeper, so deep you no longer know if you are breathing, if you are moving, if you are still awake or already beyond. It does not matter. Here there is no boundary. Sleep and dream, wake and rest, all dissolve into the same quiet sea. And within that sea you drift further, you drift beyond shape, beyond name, beyond the edges of self. There is no you, and yet you remain. There is no time, and yet eternity surrounds you. There is no place, and yet you are
home. This is the dream beyond time.
the dream that does not end, the dream that does not begin, the dream that has always been here, waiting for you to remember. And as you float, as you dissolve, as you are carried into this infinite stillness, the universe itself whispers to you, not in words, not in sound, but in silence that holds everything. Rest, forever rest, and you do. The dream beyond time holds you in its endless embrace. You float within it, timeless, shapeless, beyond beginning, beyond end. Yet gently, almost without notice, the currents of this dream begin to shift, not with urgency, not with demand, only with the same tender rhythm that has carried you all along. The streams of starlight around you begin to draw inward, folding into softer shapes. Their endless rivers slow into pools, their vast galaxies condense into a handful of shimmering lights. The infinity of dream contracts, but it does not vanish. It settles like a tide that draws back into the sea, leaving the shore smooth, quiet, and ready for rest. And slowly you sense yourself again. Not as weight, not as burden, but as presence. Your breath moves gently. Inhale, a soft rising. Exhale, a slow release. Your chest lifts, falls. Your body stirs faintly, held in the cradle of stillness. Have you ever noticed how the world of dreams can flow into the world of waking, like water slipping from one vessel to another. Tonight, you rest in that passage between the eternal dream and the quiet return. The chamber of eternal rest forms again around you, not sharply, but like mist taking shape. The circular bed holds you, soft as cloud, steady as earth. The ceiling above still glows with distant stars, though now they shine more faintly, as if bowing in farewell. Their light is gentle, their hum softer, fading into silence. You are not leaving them. They remain within you. The stars, the dream, the endless, beyond, all now live inside your breath, inside your rest. The chamber itself feels like a cocoon. You are not stepping out of it, but being carried through it gently toward the next threshold. You rise slowly, not with effort, but as though the chamber itself is lifting you. Your steps are weightless as you move once more to the doorway. The stone opens without sound, and beyond it you see the garden beneath the moon. The garden welcomes you again. Its blossoms still glow faintly, its fountain still murmurs, its air still carries the fragrance of jasmine and lavender. But now the moon has lowered, leaning toward the horizon. Its light is softer still, silver turning faintly to gold. The path carries you past the glowing tree, its blossoms swaying like gentle lanterns. They bow slightly as though bidding you farewell. Their light lingers on your skin as you pass, a gift to carry with you. From the garden, you step into the cottage.
Once more,
Its halls are hushed, its windows glowing faintly with the pale light of dawn. You walk past the quiet library, where the whispers now sleep. You pass the hearth, where the gentle flame has dwindled to embers, warm and steady. You move past the windows, where the first blush of morning begins to tint the sky. The cottage holds you one last time. It does not cling, it does not demand. It only reminds you that it will always be here, waiting, timeless, whenever you need to return, and, as you step to the doorway, you feel the world beyond. The lantern-lit path where your journey began. The forest now fading into soft hues of morning. The air cool and fresh, carrying the quiet song of a waking earth. Yet there is no hurry. No need to open your eyes if they are closed. No need to move if you are still. The return is not a leaving. It is a remembering. You carry the cottage, the garden, the chamber, the dream beyond time, all within you. Inhale and feel the peace you gathered along the way. Exhale and let it settle deeply into every part of you. Tonight's journey is complete, yet its rest continues. Perhaps you will drift deeper into sleep now, carried by the dream beyond time. Perhaps you will hover in the space between, floating gently in calm. Or perhaps when the moment comes, you will awaken, refreshed, renewed, remembering the stillness you found. Whatever comes, it will come gently. Whatever remains, remains softly. For you have walked the path, entered the cottage, rested by the hearth, gazed through the windows, wandered the garden, and slept within, the chamber of eternal rest. You have drifted into the dream beyond time, and now you have returned, not empty, but full of quiet, full of peace, full of rest. And so as this story settles into silence, the only thing left is stillness. Stillness in your body, stillness in your breath, stillness in your heart. The gentle return is not an ending. It is the beginning.
Of your rest, now sleep. Sleep and be well. Sleep and be whole. Sleep and dream forever and always.